I always hated how many hours I spent doom scrolling on this phone. Yet, I also loved this very same device for helping me create things I'm proud of. This never-ending conflict caused me to ask myself, how can I use this device to maximize creation and minimize consumption? And the answer is something better than a dumb phone, app blockers, or deleting social media. What we are going to do is split your digital identity in two. So, how do we actually split a digital identity? And in order to understand that, I need to tell you about one of my favorite shows, Severance. Imagine if you could be two different people at once. One who only understands your work life and the other who only understands your home life. And the two, they never meet. Even crazier, they don't know anything about each other. Your home you could have a whole family, and your work you, he wouldn't even know. Essentially, the people, they undergo a procedure to completely separate their work life and their personal life. Not metaphorically, literally. They walk into work, their personal memories literally vanish. They leave work, their work memories then disappear. Two versions of the same person, never aware of each other. And that's called severance. And what you just witnessed is the key concept of making the split. At this exact moment, Mark, the main character, lost all his memories from his outside world, and all he knows is work. He knows no one from outside of his work, he only knows his colleagues, and the only thing he knows is what happens on the work floor. And this brings me to the problem that most of us face. Let me give you an example. Have you ever been writing a brilliant idea in your notes app and then a notification pops up? And next thing you know, you've been scrolling Instagram or TikTok for the next few minutes. See, that's what I call a mixed identity queue. Your phone is telling you to create and consume at the very same time. And the worst thing, 9 out of 10, boredom wins. But even worse, every time this happens, it slowly chips away at your attention span. You literally train your brain through force of habit to reward yourself with doom scrolling as soon as your brain gets challenged a bit. If you're still not getting the point, you're probably wondering, how does this problem we all face tie back to severance? Okay, I told you about this closed ecosystem of work from severance, right? Now imagine doing that, but for your phone. A phone that has separate context, which will eventually lead to separate behaviors. And the best way I can explain this is the way you behave at home versus the way you behave at the gym. See, everything at the gym screams workout. You see other people working out, there is a lot of workout equipment, and you don't see people in your gym watching Netflix, right? While being home, everything screams relax. You have a comfortable couch, you have a TV with unlimited entertainment, you have plenty of food. Essentially everything in your home screams sit down and just take some time off. And that's what we want to isolate for your phone. The cues that cause you to consume, to isolate them and put them somewhere else. What this leads to is a phone that has been purified from all distractions. This phone is so pure that we will call it the pear phone. Because you know, pear, pure, kind of sounds like each other. Hello?
Jason, they get it.
Okay.
Move on to the setup. Stop wasting time.
Got it. I know what you're thinking. Why a second phone? And you're probably having a bunch of objections in your mind, like, why would I just not go for a dumb phone? And even though it takes away all the bad stuff, it also takes away all the good stuff. Like, when I switched to a dumb phone and deleted all social media from my phone, I realized that there was a bunch of creative input I wasn't getting anymore, like inspiration from other creators, or let's say on Twitter, key ideas that I want to implement in my life. All of a sudden, my creative input from Twitter was just gone. And that's why a dumb phone didn't work for me personally. But then we also have, for example, app blockers. And what I found is the exact same problem. They just take away all the good stuff. Especially for app blockers, I feel like it's just a temporary solution. Like, it is very easy to remove friction within the app blocker and just pause it or disable it and continue to use the app. Especially after a long day, I see the app blocker is still active. I'm like, whatever, I just disable it. And then I find myself consuming once again. And last but not least, just deleting apps. You are not Thanos. You have a digital footprint. You are actually an online persona. And the problem with deleting apps or deleting your accounts is that often it carries a lot of memories and also contacts. You know, let's say you delete Instagram, but you have a bunch of friends you only talk with on Instagram because that's the only place they're really active on. Removing Instagram essentially means removing contact with those people, which also doesn't really work for me personally. So what then is the how to the Peer phone? The first step is the most important step, and that is to buy the cheapest smartphone you can find. The cheaper, the better. Why? Because trust me, you won't find yourself consuming as much content on a $50 Android. And the next thing you do after you get this cracked up iPhone or cracked up Android device is to transfer all your socials to this new device. This is gonna be your leisure consumption device. Most important thing though is make sure that all high consumption apps are on this phone. So probably TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And last but not least, clean your current phone. This is gonna be the Peer phone. Like, it should be brand new, purified of all distractions. And I know this kind of sounds like a lot of effort, but this is probably gonna take 1 to 2 hours, if not less, and it's gonna save you hours and hours in a week, maybe even days in a year. You're gonna save so much time if you actually implement this. And yeah, time is all you have, is what I believe. After that's all done, we have the purified phone, aka the Peer phone. Now, how do we set up this Peer phone? So the moment you hold the purified phone in your hand, you're gonna realize, damn, this phone doesn't even know who I am. There is no algorithm tracking me. I don't even have a digital footprint on this phone. It's essentially a blank canvas. So let's paint something beautiful. I do have to add though, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And I have no idea what you want to create. So before we get to the setup, we need to install some non-negotiables to truly keep this phone pure. First things first, fresh socials. As I said before, you do not want an algorithm tracking you. And on these fresh socials, you want to only follow accounts that inspire you to create more, create better stuff. And I'd say follow people that are actually in the niche in which you want to create in. That's for the low value consumption, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Then let's move on to high value consumption. This is whitelisted consumption. Think apps like Kindle, Audible, the podcast app. This is for consumption that essentially helps you develop as a person. And then at last we got the gray area apps, think email or messages. And what I did for email, I kept it on my phone but no notifications. I'm not a person that really looks through to my email throughout the day, so it wasn't really a distraction. But for messages, I did something quite different. My main messaging app is WhatsApp. I used to talk to a lot of people on there. So what I did, I essentially told the most important people from my contact list to, from now on, contact me on iMessage, because I'm gonna delete WhatsApp from my main phone, and if you want a quick reply, send me an iMessage. And honestly, it worked perfectly. I talk to the most important people on iMessage only, and WhatsApp is basically for the rest of the people. I still talk to the less important people. After that's all done, the main question we want to ask is, what do we want to create? And honestly, I can't speak for you, but I can give you some examples. Let's say we have the Writer's Peer phone. And the first things I would install on the homepage are Notion, Google Docs, a journal app. And for the social, I'd follow the more popular writers, think Danku or James Clear. Now for the video creator's Peer phone. Obviously the camera, a lot of editing apps, YouTube Studio can be a distraction, and follow people like Colt Kirwan or Matt Diavella. And the artist's Peer phone. Do you like to paint? Get Procreate, Pinterest, a portfolio app, plus follow the Louvre on Instagram. Honestly, I don't know. I trust in your capabilities to figure it out. And the key takeaway from this is that consumption isn't even bad, but you need to focus on high value consumption. So the best thing you can do is obviously to prioritize apps like Kindle and Audible. I use Spotify for podcasts, so that's also in my main setup. And yeah, Make sure to only follow the high value accounts on your newly created social media account. And if you're still sticking around, let's talk about my setup. Because my setup, I couldn't fit it in this video, which is why I made a separate video and a Notion template going over my setup and the reasons behind my personal setup. Click on this video over here and make sure to watch that as well. Peace.